I think we are recording. Hello, welcome everyone who's watching. Um, my name is Takesha, she, her pronouns, and today, or when you're watching this, we are chatting with Mama Hakima Payne of Uzazi Village in Kansas City, Missouri, and we're going to talk to you today about Chocolate Milk Cafe and a little bit of the history of how we got here. So, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, thanks for having me. And I love talking about Chocolate Milk Cafe. It was an idea that had been fomenting in my brain for quite some time. When I was a breastfeeding mother, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, uh, I, for a long time, was not able to find the support I needed. I finally attended some support groups uh, that were helpful, that I did find helpful in helping me to be successful in breastfeeding my fourth child onward. And so I was very grateful for that support, but I did have to leave my community for that support. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to have support within our own community, something for Black moms so that we don't have to travel to other communities, but something that's geared more toward us. And that's a lot more accessible. And so Chocolate Milk Cafe was really born out of the need for that, to find something, to create something that was culturally specific because I couldn't find it. Uh, and uh, there were sources of breastfeeding assistance in WIC clinics, some of our local hospitals, uh, but not anything that was immediate to our community, and that, uh, as I said, was culturally specific to African American families. And hence, Chocolate Milk Cafe was born in 2014. I put together the first group and invited mothers and mothers to be, families to be who were already coming to Uzazi Village for other services. And that's how we got the ball rolling. It's really designed to be a peer-to-peer support group. So the mothers were in charge and recruited other families to attend, set the agendas, and it wasn't until a couple years later that we really started putting anything down on paper, and we had applied to the International Board of Lactation Consultant Examiners to become an accepted uh, uh, mother-to-mother support group where folks could get their hours uh, toward IBCLC in exchange for being a leader for 2 years. So it was really at that point, around 2015, 2016, that we really sort of codified and set everything in stone about what these groups would look like. It was always meant to be a scalable, replicable model. And, and so we expected it to grow to be in other places besides in our local city of Kansas City. Um, we found that we hit some snags with our 501c3, which is what Uzazi Village is. And there were some conflicts that really prevented the growth of Uzazi Village, Chocolate Milk Cafe, into other cities. And so that's when um, you, Takesha, and I believe LaShonda had some say in it too, came up with the idea that Chocolate Milk Cafe should be its own 501c3, and I immediately thought that was a fabulous idea. And so uh, Chocolate Milk Cafe started the long journey to becoming a 501c3, which was accomplished this year in 2020. And yes, that's a really big deal. Um, and I think we'll probably spend 2020 sort of getting all our ducks in a row and being prepared for a big rollout in 2021 and accepting, other states, other places uh, that want to create chocolate milk cafes. So I'm really looking forward to the growth, looking forward to this being a real solution for Black families that are looking for that breastfeeding support. Maybe they don't have what they need in their communities or even in their families, and certainly not in their healthcare institutions. But this can be a real answer to prayer for families who are looking for that peer-to-peer support to um, problem solve, keep their breastfeeding going, enhance the quality of their breastfeeding experience. And the mothers just really support one another in that way. It's a fantastic model. Um, I love it when I visit groups and see what they're doing and how they're supporting one another and how this is really family and community led. And uh, and that's a brief history. I'll give a quick shout out to Jamisha Wade. She and I created the first manual that's been revised several times now, but we put that initial one together. And now we have not only our chocolate milk cafes, but we have a facilitator training and even a train the trainer training. And so
A lot of
so
them.
it's just really evolved over time. And again, our whole goal is that this really be useful for Black and African American families who are on their own breastfeeding journeys.
Yes, I agree. I just wanted to ask you, you kind of went through all of the stuff, so I don't really have to ask many questions. It's perfect. But the name, like, where did you come? How did you come up with the name? Did it just
Oh
like?
gosh, I don't even remember now. I do have a gift for naming things, so I just sort of set my mind to it and think on it a while. But I went through many names as I usually do. I get out my little notebooks, of which I have a million of them. They're never far away, and just start scribbling ideas. But
I know
people
what
really,
that's like.
uh, so I brainstorm a lot. But folks
Yeah.
really seem to resonate with Chocolate Milk Cafe, and I think it's been a good name that's
Yeah.
served us well. But I
Well,
just went
that's what kind of got us in. Real listen, we're like, well, we can't come up with a better name than that. It's perfect. And I
thanks,
actually,
thanks.
especially honestly for myself, with the chocolate and the milk part, it kind of helps encompass like all different aspects of lactating people.
Hmm.
So, and focusing on like the milk and the expression of the milk, it just makes it so much easier. There are other names out there, and some of them are gendered. So this makes it
Right,
really,
right.
in chocolate milk. It kind of gets, you know what we're talking about when we start explaining a little bit, and it kind of makes sense all together. I get a lot of
And we
compliments on the
really,
name. I'm
oh,
like,
great. I'm glad to hear
I'm like,
that.
I can't take credit, but
You can take some credit. You worked really hard on Chocolate Milk Cafe. But we did want something that wasn't gendered because we decided early on that we wanted dads and other partners to feel a part of Chocolate Milk Cafe. So as in the beginning, it's true now, anyone in the family is welcome to attend. So we welcome partners, we welcome grandparents, aunts, whoever wants to learn about breastfeeding and help to support the breastfeeding dyad. So
yeah.
we're excited about that.
I agree. All right. Well, I don't know unless you wanted to. You kind of, like I said, you kind of hit all of the points. This was quick for us. Thank you so much. I think this is going to be great. So we're doing a launch this whole week in October to tell everyone out there about Chocolate Milk Cafe and get the name out there. So please share. We'll do another video with the board members so you get to know us. And hopefully, if I'm lucky, I can snag in some facilitators and you get to learn something about some of the different chapters.
That was great. We have some wonderful facilitators, some amazing chapters doing amazing things. If I can forecast into the future a little bit, I hope, in a year or two to come that I'll be speaking at a Chocolate Milk Cafe conference or rally or something to
Well,
that
now that you
effect.
put it fully out there, we have to follow the,
Well,
COVID has really
I,
thrown a wrench. Yeah.
well, that just gives us adequate planning time. That's all.
That's true. So,
That's
well,
all.
then with that, I'm gonna put a bug out there that we need some support. We need some help. We need more hands on deck. But I'm looking forward to that. I would love a whole chocolate milk congregation of people. It sounds delicious. I'm
This is something well worth supporting. As a maternity nurse, I've always been committed to the importance of breastfeeding, and I've attended probably a million breastfeeding support groups, either as a breastfeeding mother myself or in my role as a maternity nurse, uh, and supporting families in their breastfeeding. And I haven't seen anything like this model. So I'm very excited about chocolate milk. And yes, we absolutely deserve support because breastfeeding absolutely has an impact not only on the parent and child bond, but of course, health for the birthing body and the baby, and enhances the relationship with the entire family, the entire community,
Yeah.
and has an impact on infant mortality rates. So this is absolutely something that folks should be looking at if they're looking for something to support in perinatal health, especially for Black women.
Yeah, so hopefully next year, like you've said, we can get the ground running and have more open up. See a chocolate milk cafe in every state,
I
and
would
we
love that.
and
That's a
all across the
fabulous
entire
vision. A chocolate milk cafe in every state.
country.
That would.
So right now we got five down, so it's not that the numbers we're gonna get there. So our
Well,
fingers crossed.
45 more to go.
Yeah, Chocolate Milk Cafe National. We're taking over.
It's honestly so much more than I ever imagined when I first started doing this. It just sort of grew out of frustration that women needed something they could access in their own community, and never thought that it would grow to this point. So it's just so exciting to see it go national, and to know people are out there chomping at the bit to get chocolate milk cafes in their home cities, and just knowing that people really want to do this and are really invested in this is really exciting.
Yes, I agree. Well, thank you so much for taking this time so we could have this lovely chat. I always love
Thank
hearing
you. Well, I'm
about your
I'm happy to share the humble beginnings of Chocolate Milk Cafe. We've had many growing pains, and you won most of them.
oh, 20 the 2020 curveballs. They come, but we got our bat ready. So we've been
Yes,
managing very well over here. So
it may prove to be a good thing. So it's gearing us up for 2021 and all the exciting things that'll happen then. So,
yes, we're
so
overcoming all of the obstacles to be able to, yeah, exactly.
yes, we are.
All right,
So
well, thank you.
thank you so much. All right, you have a good evening.
Too.
All right.